Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. This video is specifically made for Mr. Finglish because he asked for some up-close views of certain parts of my collection. So, hey, I'm going to oblige just for a bit of fun because I certainly don't mind showing some of this stuff up close and giving a more in-depth look, but honestly, anybody who feels like commenting below on this stuff, feel free. This isn't just for Mr. Finglish, but it is per his request. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and really start getting into this, and let's get some appropriate mood music going. So, gonna start off, of course, with the Ninja Turtles. On this shelf, I have a couple of the classics Ninja Turtles, the four main turtles. They're like fairly large, well articulated, obviously cartoon-styled Ninja Turtles, and I really enjoy those pieces. Underneath that, on the same shelf, I have the four main turtles from the 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon show. We got Splinter, of course. We also got Shredder and a Foot Soldier. I also have, and Krang, of course. And I also have this helicopter thing with one of the classic Foot Soldiers on it. That's a lot louder. That's what I get. YouTube does this. Wow. That guy's... that volume is obviously not normalized on the YouTube playlist. Live and learn, right? So, that pretty much covers the first shelf there. Right? On the next shelf here, I've got a bunch of original toys from my childhood here, which are, of course, the original Ninja Turtles. Unfortunately, most of the toys I had from that line are long gone, but that's what I have left, essentially. We got Rocksteady, the four main turtles, Splinter, Shredder, and Triceraton. Just before I move on to G.I. Joe, I'm going to show here the top of the shelf. These are just some knights that I had as a kid. I'll show you the bottom of one of these. It's this, essentially. And I just thought they looked neat, like they're all battling, so good stuff. Beneath that, now we're getting into some G.I. Joe stuff. None of these are actually original toys from the 80s toy line of G.I. Joe. They're basically real American Hero reissues that came out, I think, in the early 2000s or so, something like that. Now, not this guy here. I think this is Heavy Duty, I believe his name is. He is from a newer toy line where they tried to reimagine the real American Hero, but truthfully, I don't like these as well as I do the old style toys, but they do still kind of look cool. So there's that shelf there. There is Cobra right here. There's always way more good guys than bad guys, but at least I do have some bad guys there, and there's some more G.I. Joe. And then, of course, there's only one more G.I. Joe piece to show after this shelf here, and that is this piece here, which, of course, is the Dragonfly, which is a pretty well-known helicopter from G.I. Joe. Alright. Okay. And then, ironically, probably the toys I had the most of when I was a kid, but of course the fewest of now, were He-Man. I think I'm sure my mom got rid of those toys a million years ago. Growing up, He-Man was absolutely I had all sorts of play sets. I had Castle Grayskull, Skull Mountain. I also had shitloads of the figures. I think I had almost all of them from the original Masters of the Universe line. Unfortunately, this is all I got now. I know Netflix just recently announced a series. In fact, there's a lot of stuff going on in the He-Man camp right now, so if they put out more toys, I will probably flesh out the He-Man collection a bit, because right now, as you can see, all I have is Skeletor and He-Man and Battle Cat, and this is from the 2000s cartoon, obviously not an original. And then lastly, we got just some random robots down here, a few Gundams and just a random ass robot. I think that's from an RPG called Front Mission 3, so there you go. That was a closer look at my non-Transformers portion. Be right back. Well guys, that obviously concludes this video, the look at the non-Transformers portion of my collection. Now I have no idea if any of you guys out there are collectors of any of this kind of stuff, but just as a side note, I would not mind unloading some of my G.I. Joe stuff. I would definitely be willing to sell or trade some of it away. So if you guys are interested in any of the G.I. Joe stuff that you saw, just let me know. We can probably work something out. If anyone is interested in seeing the Transformers stuff by some chance in more detail, comment below and I'll show that off. It would be a much longer video, obviously, because there's a lot more to show. So, that all being said, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. As always, live long and prosper.